It was inevitable. The zombie apocalypse has finally happened and I'm terrified. Is this even possible? I need to survive the most chaotic zombie apocalypse in hardcore difficulty. If I die, that's it and I need to start over. This is the village I spawned in. I must protect it with my life. The relentless zombie horde grows stronger day by day and I have just about nothing, while the zombies, well, they're stronger than ever. With each day that passes, they grow more powerful, faster and learn new abilities. They can fly, break down my defenses, and use ender pearls to get to me. I, on the other hand, have this village and my brain. This is the hardest 100-day challenge I've ever attempted, and I genuinely have no idea if I'll survive. Starting out, I'm at a huge disadvantage. The mobs have already been buffed and can spawn with armor. This is, however, the weakest that the mobs will be for the foreseeable 100 days, and it's the perfect time to take a risk. This evening, I will abandon the very village I promised to protect and spend my time underground, searching for valuable ores so that I can make some armor. But for now, I'm spending the day collecting wood for charcoal so that I can have torches tonight. Thankfully, the village has a source of food in hay bales, so that's taken care of. It's amazing how you always need more time in situations like these, but unfortunately I'm all out and I need to start a mine. I know that this move could sacrifice a lot of my villagers, but if I die on the first night trying to protect them, how will they ever feel safe in the future? It's probably a good time to mention that there's a mod pack installed which allows any hostile mob to target villagers. I've got about 8 minutes to gather as many ores as possible. With the difficulty growing stronger as time passes, I really need to be strict with my time. I can't afford to waste any daylight underground. The More Gems mod pack should help with that, as I can find many ores similar to the strength of iron. Through the sheer luck of finding this cave, I've managed to acquire enough resources to make myself some armor, as long as I don't mind looking like a rainbow gummy bear. As I rush to the surface, I can't help but notice how empty the village is and how much my iron golem has gone through. But no time for that anxiety now. I need to be efficient with my new tools during the day. At this stage, I'm quite tired of introducing more mods, so I'm just gonna put them all in the description for you to check out. Since the mobs can target me from 24 blocks away, I figure my best chance at survival is to light up a huge area around this village. Mobs can't target me if they can't spawn close to me, right? Well, that's what I thought at least, but we'll address that later. During the day, I spent my time chopping down trees to make charcoal for torches, and at night I kept mining as it was the safest option. I made sure to close the villagers in their houses to protect them while I wasn't there. Once I collected enough resources for torches, I placed them all around and inside my village. I decided to keep working through the night on day 3 and had this scary encounter with an enderman. It's almost like they just target me without me even looking at them, which is quite terrifying and probably part of one of the mods. In absolute panic from my enderman encounter, I'm starting to mine for diamonds every now and then so that I can live more freely one day. That day is, however, very far away, so for now I'll need to build a barrier around my village. I'm placing deep slate blocks down as the foundation and jungle fences on top of them. That way the mobs that do spawn can't just run in. I'm not completely sure if it'll work, as I've already seen some mobs riding parrots. But you know what, if I want to stand a chance against those parrot riding zombies, I'm gonna need a sustainable source of food. I can't believe it's already day 6 and I'm only sorting my food out now, but I hope that shows my selfless commitment to this village. I'm neatening an area over here where I'd like the farm to go, collecting some dirt to plant the crops on, as you can't do that on sand, and obtaining some water for the crop growth, as deserts don't have an innate ability to grow crops. It really feels like I'm going against the game's mechanics to survive here, and I'm loving the challenge. Pause. Remember earlier when I said I would come back to the whole mobs not targeting me thing anymore? Here I found a baby zombie who somehow managed to get into my village as phantoms decided to bombard me. In a normal world I would be safe right now, but I guess I'll never be completely safe here. In my recently induced state of paranoia, I decided to light the top of the villager huts up as well. Maybe the zombies spawned up there, who knows. What I do know is that this video is sponsored by Raid Shadowland. Nah, I'm just joking. I'm too small to have the opportunity to sell out like that. I will, however, really appreciate you liking the video and subscribing so that I can sell out in the future and buy some food IRL. I'm so hungry. But back to the video you came for. I need to start repopulating the village so that it's actually a village, and so that I can start getting better gear through villager trading. But the surface is not safe enough just yet, so I only have one option, and that's to dig the villages about 15 blocks down, block off any sort of entrance, dig out a breeding area, and convince the villagers that this dungeon is perfect for their children to grow up in. The convincing didn't seem to go so well, as the villagers just weren't reproducing regardless of how many beds and food I gave them. With a headache and fatigue setting in, I ran out to tame some wolves and then took a strategic break. When I came back, the answer was right in front of me. The reason the villagers can't breed is because there isn't enough space above the beds. It wouldn't be possible for their children to jump on the beds without receiving brain damage. Back in my day, we used to jump on trampolines in our basement. The next few days, I spent trading with the villagers, collecting ridiculous amounts of wood and improving the villager breeding room. I used jungle slabs on the floor and tile deep slate on the walls. In the moment, I thought it was quite nice. Upon further reflection, however, it's just starting to look more and more like a dungeon. But hey, on the bright side, I've finally fixed the roof in the breeding dungeon and my first villager has already grown up. And it seems like he was destined to be a librarian whose expertise lies in the razor sharpness enchantment. How remarkable, and I'm sure it didn't take tons of trades behind the scenes. More of the same for the next few days. Villager trading, dungeon improvements, more dungeon babies, some farming to support the dungeon baby growth, some wood collecting to support the dungeon trading, and just to add some variety to the mundane life of my Minecraft character, I went mining for diamonds as I got a fortune enchantment from a villager. It's now day 16 and I'd like myself an enchanted set of diamond armor. So for the next few days of this thrilling villager trading cycle, I will be prioritizing defensive enchantments from the villagers and collecting experience to combine those enchantments onto a set of diamond armor. For some strange reason, I'm keeping the diamond armor in my chest until I get more enchantments for them. On day 19, I realized how crowded this dungeon was becoming, but I didn't do anything about it because that's how I like my villager dungeons. I also decided to put on my diamond armor. It's quite silly not to wear the best armor I have as I'm playing an incredibly challenging mod pack in hardcore. With my new gear on, I absolutely sliced through the phantoms tonight. I have an enchantment called Untouchable, which is basically a stronger version of Thorns. Speaking about cool enchantments, I went on a wood collecting adventure, but stayed out too long and wanted to test the gliding enchantment on my chest plate. So I built this huge tower to jump off of. Never thought I'd be doing this in hardcore, but it worked. My state of relief quickly transitioned into extreme anxiety as I couldn't find the village and landed in the middle of the desert at night. The creeperless enchantment on my pants notifying me of nearby creepers did not help my state, but thankfully I summited this hill and found my well-lit village. Having made it back home, I was motivated to get back into my mundane routine. To add some whimsy to it, I decided to name my bow this, in hopes that it would remind you to leave the video a like if you've been enjoying it. Feeling more powerful than ever, I decided I'd like to test out my new equipment. On the night of day 21, I'm running out of my perimeter to go face to face with mobs while collecting some more wood. What's about to happen is making me rethink attempting this mod pack. Here I shoot a fully loaded power 5 shot at a zombie with only a chest plate on. It also gets hit by lightning and it still burns for several seconds after. Then I decide to finish it off with my sword. The difficulty is only at 20% of this mod pack's full potential. What is even gonna happen on day 100? Also, the lightning from the bow set these trees on fire. It's not relevant, just thought it was cool and I wanted to share. Well, back to the village I go for more villager trading. I'm so tired. In true procrastinating fashion, on the night of day 22, I started trying to snipe the zombie that was super far out. After many attempts, I finally hit it and the zombie started charging me. When it arrived, it placed lava on my fence. I fought it off and went back to the comfort of my mundane routine for a while. Eventually, day 25 came around and I was feeling slightly more powerful. I felt like I could protect this village. So I put on my big boy pants, left the safety of this village, ran into the dense jungle and found a jungle temple to explore. With the additional mods added, I could find really OP things in these structures. Practicing elite levels of patience and carefulness, I found my way to the bottom of this silverfish infested structure. And for the fruits of my labor, nothing really to write home about apart from a few shards I could use to repair the durability on my tools and some horse armor accompanied with saddles. So I suppose it was worth it. As I got home, I couldn't help but notice how poor this village's defense is. I need to do something about this if I want the villagers to be set free from their dungeon one day. I started planning out the inner perimeter, which would for the most part use the shape of the old fence. I used deep slate for the bottom of the walls and then placed deep slate walls on top of the blocks. I'm not using wooden fences as I don't want the zombies to burn down my last layer of defense with their lava buckets. On day 34, I just about finished the inner perimeter, which allowed me to start working on the outer layer of defense, which is going to be much more advanced. I'm building another wall about 7 blocks away from the first one so that I can place water in like this. This water will hopefully push the mobs away from the inner wall for in case they manage to penetrate my first layer of defense. Feeling satisfied with my work, on day 44 I invested my time into the landscape on which my village has been built. I'm cleaning it up, not for the villagers but for my own sanity. By day 46, my work inside was done. I could finally relax, but didn't, as my unhealthy obsession with trying to make everything better kicked in. It told me to place cacti around my outer wall for additional safety purposes. Man, at this rate, I'm about to let the villagers out of their dungeon only for them to find themselves trapped in a village-sized prison. It's currently day 47 and I need to test out my village's defense before I can let my prisoners, I mean friends, out. I also took this opportunity to light up the surrounding area more. After all, mobs not spawning at all is safer than having them try to infiltrate your base. And that's when this happened. All that work just to have some weird bug riding a parrot get in so effortlessly. At this point, it felt like the mod pack was mocking me, but I didn't give up. I'm actually feeling quite good about this. I'm taking a huge step here and announcing this village as safe. It's currently day 48 and I'm on my way to let the dungeon babies see the light of day for the first time. I'm moving all of their workstations and beds to the surface so that their silly pathing mechanics actually bring them up here. Wow, things really are looking good. It would be a shame if the mod pack were to throw another punch my way. Oh hey, would you look at that? Tonight we're experiencing a blood moon, which is a lunar event that drastically increases spawning rates of mobs. It also for some reason causes my game to lag uncontrollably. Sorry about that. On the bright side, my defenses held up quite well, apart for the occasional mob on a parrot getting in. But the iron golems were very quick to sort that out. Also, apparently when a mob is in water, it can summon a guardian to get to you. I wish I had known that sooner. And to end the night off, I sniped a zombie far out in the distance and got the cinematic shot of his horde storming me. Then for some reason they started fighting each other and I couldn't stop laughing. I just imagined the one dude being like, "Bro, why are you running so slow?" And the other guy being like, "Hey, you're behind me, shut up." Then they just brawl it out as another zombie runs closer to remind them of who their actual enemy is. But before he can do that, I quickly shoot them with my lightning bow. That was fun and completely unexpected. As the sun rose and the light of dawn failed to burn the army of undead in the far distance, it occurred to me that this wouldn't be enough to keep my village safe as the days go by. I will need to risk my own life to obtain more powerful tools and items. My next objectives will be to venture out far into the unknown, seeking treasures in dangerous structures, spending entire nights out in the wilderness, far from the protection I've spent the past 50 days building. But most intimidating of all, entering the Nether, having absolutely no clue of the adventure and challenges that await me. I don't have the time just yet to include all 100 days in one video and to keep a consistent upload schedule at the same time. I do my best to bring you guys videos and to make them as good as I possibly can. So stay tuned for the next 50 days of this adventure. Please remember to like the video and subscribe to support the channel. In the meantime, I've got a hardcore adventure you can follow along with, or you could watch me survive in an ever-expanding world.